Hi, welcome. So today might be a great practice to have a couple of blocks for. If you do not have yoga blocks, don't worry. A stool, a chair, couch cushions, those kinds of things work pretty well. We're going to work deeply into our hips. So let's go ahead and get started on our backs. You can lay down. If you want a little padding underneath the back of the head, you're welcome to grab a blanket or a pillow for that. Let's just begin by hugging the knees into the chest and rocking a little bit side to side. I want you to just pay attention first here how your low back feels, the back of your hips. And also as you're hugging your knees into your chest, how that front side compression feels. Take a few deep breaths here as you're moving side to side. See if you can start to breathe in and out through your nose. And then let's reach up for maybe the feet or the backs of the legs somewhere. Just get a hold of your legs or your feet and come into happy baby. So we're starting to pull the knees a little bit wider, like towards the armpits. And if you can get the soles of the feet like they're looking at the ceiling. And again, if your shoulders are rounding away from the floor and the neck's really craning up towards the ceiling, then just grab lower on your legs. Maybe it's the backs of the knees, maybe it's the calves. You don't have to get your feet. And then feel free to rock that side to side as well. If you'd like to, you could play with straightening out through one leg and then the other leg. And we'll take a couple more breaths here. We'll stay in half happy baby on the right side. So keep your right leg as is and then extend your left leg out long. And if your left heel bone and calf muscle can touch the floor, great. But if not, then just bend your left knee and plant your left foot. Let your left knee turn out to the side to kind of counterbalance the weight of the right leg. So you're trying to stay neutral in your hips. Deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. We're going to come into a twist. So your left hand's going to take a hold of your right leg anywhere along your right leg. You're going to start to rotate onto your left hips. Your right arm stretching off to the right side. And so you're rolling onto your left hips, that right leg's just following. And then maybe you slide some props underneath that inner right knee. See if you can relax into this. It might feel kind of stiff at first if you haven't been moving much today or if you've been sitting for the last few hours. So try not to force it, just allow your body to come into this shape as deeply as it wants to. And that might be a little bit more shallow. That's okay. Let's take one more breath here. Come back to center, return to that happy baby, both feet in happy baby. We're going to keep a hold of the left foot, extend the right leg out long, and you can keep that right leg stretched out long, so long as the right heel bone and calf muscle can relax all the way down onto the mat. And if that's not happening, bend the right knee, plant the right foot, and let the right knee fall out to the side to counterbalance the weight of your left leg. Big breath in, nice long breath out. One more breath here. Okay, now you're going to take your right hand, grab a hold of your left leg anywhere you're holding onto your left leg. Your left arm extends off to the left side, and then you're rotating onto your right hip. Your left leg is following. I'm going to move my block over so that my inner left knee can rest on something solid. And it's okay if your leg doesn't get all the way down to the floor or something solid because we're not here for that long. We're just letting this be a little bit more exploratory. Try not to force it. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. Slowly unwind. Come back to center. As you come back to center, hug both your knees into your chest again. And now we're going to start to rock the length of the mat. So you rock backwards and forwards a few times. And then we'll come up into tabletop. So if you do have blocks at home and you're using them, go ahead and set them up at the top of your mat. In your tabletop, you can use your blocks here underneath your hands. It just creates a nice long spine and longer arms. Deep breath in, lift your heart, lift your tailbone. Exhale, press down, round the spine towards the ceiling, tuck the chin in, tailbone under. Invitation to close your eyes here as you move in and out of your own cat and cow at your own pace. And if there's any other movement you want to explore with this, any nonlinear shapes you want to make with your spine, you can sway your hips side to side. You can let your head get involved. Take about 2 more breaths, just warming up the spine. Now come back to a neutral spine. Extend your right leg back behind you. Tuck your right toes. You're pressing down through the ball mound of that right foot, pressing that right heel back behind you. And then just shift forward and backward on those right toes. We're just kind of warming up that whole right leg. Shift forward, backward a few times. And the next time you shift forward, pause there. Float your right toes off the mat. See if you can keep that right leg straight, right pinky toe dialing down. Engaging those leg muscles, deep breath in. Now you're going to sweep that right leg behind you, so off towards the left side of your mat. And again, you're tucking the toes and pressing down into the ball mound of that right foot. Bump the hips off to the right side. Look over your left shoulder. So you're trying to create this side body stretch on your right side. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Inhale, come back to center. Right leg floats up. Bend the right knee, pull it forward, forward, forward towards your right elbow or tricep, rounding the spine. Inhale, extend the right leg back. Exhale, pull forward, forward, forward. Inhale, extend back. One more time like that. Right knee forward, pause there. And then see if you can step your right foot all the way forward, top of the mat, and let it be a wide. So right foot is outside of the blocks or outside of your hands. Wide, low lunge. Let's tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and you're just going to do that a few times. So you're going to lift and lower that back knee up and off the floor and then slowly set it back down. Just working a little bit deeper into the hips, being gentle about it, exploring some nice gentle movement as you lift and lower your left knee. Set that left knee back to the mat, untuck your toes, press down through the top of your left foot, and see if you can get a little bit lighter in your hands. So maybe you come up onto your fingertips. Pause there and just breathe. Or if you want to explore some range of motion in that left ankle, you can lift that left knee up and then set it back down. So the top of the left foot is staying flat on the mat. And we're just working the range of motion on that left ankle. One more time to lift and lower. One more breath if you're just holding a static low lunge. The left knee comes all the way back down. Right knee comes back to its place, tabletop. Shift the hips back towards your heels. Come into an extended child's pose. We'll take 2 breaths here. Child's pose, 2 breaths. See if you can continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Inhale, come forward, tabletop. Extend your left leg back behind you. You're tucking the toes here first, pressing through the ball mound of your left foot. So that whole foot, not the whole foot, the ball mound of the foot is in contact with the mat. Let's push and pedal forward, backward a few times. So wake up the tippy toes, wake up the knuckle mounds of the foot. See if you can feel a stretch along the sole of the foot. That's your fascia along the sole of that left foot. Next time you come forward, pause, float the left foot off the mat. Try to keep the left leg straight, left pinky toe and hip pointing straight down. Pause there, deep breath in. And then exhale, you're going to sweep that left leg off to the right side. Tuck the toes, press down to the ball mound of your left foot. Can you bump your hips to the left as you look over your right shoulder? A little lateral side body stretch here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, come back to center. You're extending your left leg up. And then as you exhale, you're going to pull that left knee forward, 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 round the spine. See if you can connect knee to tricep or elbow or even the forearm. Inhale, extend the left leg back. Try to keep your spine neutral. As you exhale, pull the knee forward and round your spine. 2 more times. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, extend back. And then exhale as you pull forward, pause there. See one more time if you can make that connection. And then we'll step that left foot forward outside of the hands, outside of the blocks. You're going to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then nice and slow, just lift and lower that back knee up and down. So nice, deep, deep bend in your left knee. It might even be a little bit forward of your ankle as you lift and lower your right knee off the mat a few more times. Okay, and then we'll set that right knee back down. We'll untuck the right toes and we might get lighter on our fingertips here, maybe nice and tall through the chest and the spine. You can stay right here just like this, hold that static, or you can press into the top of your right foot. So think about the toenails to lift that right knee up and then slowly lower it back down. So this is not a fast movement. It is not a big movement. It's slow, controlled movement, skill in action. Lift and lower if you're coming with me. Twice more. Set that knee back down. Left knee back to its place. Now this time we're going to come up into our downward facing dog. And you can always skip downward facing dog and take child's pose instead. Always, always an option. Always encouraged to take care of yourself. If you're coming into downward facing dog, see if you can spread those fingers wide. See about rolling body weight to the thumb and index finger side of your hand. So the whole palm is pressing down. Even your fingertips are pressing down into the mat. So your hands are actively pressing the floor away. Try to relax your head. You might even shake it out a couple of times. And then the legs, you can bend the knees right and left. You can sway the body weight right to left. Just add a little bit of movement, explore a little bit here. One other option in your downward facing dog is to bend that right elbow a little bit, straighten it out, and then bend that left elbow a little bit. So just like we pedal out through the legs, maybe try pedaling out through the arms too, bending the elbows right and left. And you might not get all the way to the floor. With that, that's okay. You're just kind of waking up the lats, those big, big back muscles that run along your back body, your triceps. Couple more breaths here. Maybe straighten out through the arms, straighten out through the legs. Maybe one more breath in. And a nice long breath out. Inhale, lift your heel bones, bend your knees a little bit. And we'll just tippy-toe our way forward to the top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, hang out in your forward fold. Relax your head. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. Feet are parallel. Feel free to generously bend your knees here. Option to grab your opposite elbows and add a little bit of a sway and a knee bend side to side. Try to relax the back of your neck, head heavy. If you're taking that opposite elbow grip, release that, fingertips to the shins. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward, halfway lift. And when you come into your halfway lift, each time I want you to think about engaging your core muscles. Your core muscles wrap all the way around your spine. It's not just the front of your body, it's your side body, it's your back body. Okay, so engaging the whole core, fingertips to shins, but you're light. You're not really adding weight, and your spine is nice and straight. Your shoulder blades are pulling back and towards your spine. You're pressing into your feet. One more breath here in your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale again, halfway lift. Integrity through the spine. Exhale, fold back in. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Now this time we're going to take the hands to the waist, elbows point back, press into your feet, and stand all the way up at the top of the mat. Relax your arms alongside your body, palms turn to face forward. Reach your fingertips down towards the floor, stand nice and tall through the chest, crown of the head, reaching up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, pull those elbows wide, heart forward, pelvis forward. Even squeeze the glutes a little bit as you do this. Inhale, re-extend the arms. We're going to move the whole upper body off to the right side. So your right wrist might even catch a hold of your left wrist as you pull your arms off to the right side. Hips are moving off to the left side. They're the little side body stretch. Inhale, come back to center. If you're taking that grip, switch out the hand. So left hand's holding right wrist. Biceps are framing out the head as you reach your body off towards the left. You're trying to keep your pelvis and your chest squaring straight forward. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's come back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your downward facing dog. Pause here, deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Bring your big toes together to touch at the back of your mat. Inhale, sweep your right leg up and back. Bend your right knee, point it towards the ceiling. See if you can squeeze your hamstring muscle towards your calf muscle. So you have to engage the glutes to do that, especially on the right-hand side. Inhale, re-extend your right leg up. Exhale, you're going to pull that right knee forward towards that right tricep or right elbow, just like you did before. And then in this three-legged high plank, try to angle your right foot to the left side of your mat. You're going to set that shin bone down, wiggle your left leg back. You're going to come up into a very unsatisfying active pigeon. Okay, so I'm saying it's unsatisfying because we're not going to fold forward into this. Not yet. So if you have those blocks nearby, maybe you take your hands, frame out that right leg, press the floor away, try to get a little bit of space and lightness between the floor and the pelvis, really actively pressing down through that right shin bone and left foot. Okay, so even maybe lift that left knee off the mat and then set it back down. And for those of you that are feeling strong and active in your legs, maybe your hands come together at your heart, maybe your arms reach up and overhead. You're trying not to sink into this just yet. Stay active in your legs, press the floor away. And then exhale, relax those hands back to the floor or blocks. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Let's see if we can step right back to our high plank pose and pause. Big breath in. Shift forward as you exhale, chaturanga with or without the knees. Untuck the toes. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale another round of low cobra or press up to upward facing dog. And then from here, we'll exhale and make our way back to either a child's pose or a downward facing dog, your choice. Just try to relax your neck, head heavy, whatever you're choosing. Slow, steady inhale and exhale through your nose. 2 more rounds of breath. Okay, so from our downward facing dog, we'll bring our big toes together to touch. Inhale, sweep that left leg up and back. Bend the knee, point that left knee towards the ceiling. You're trying to squeeze your hamstring muscle towards your calf muscles, engaging the glute on the left side especially. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, re-extend the leg. Inhale, shift forward, bending that left knee, pull, pull, pull with that left knee forward towards the tricep or elbow. And then see if you can angle the foot across the mat towards the right side and set that shin bone all the way down. Wiggle your right foot back in space a few inches and then untuck the right foot. Walk your hands back so you're kind of framing out that left knee, shin, and foot. And then maybe you get tall and light in the upper body and active through the lower body. Now, if you want to try that pressing the floor away with that right foot, that right knee might lift a little bit. You might try that a time or two. And then again, option to just practice getting light on the hands or bringing the hands together at the heart and or reaching the arms up towards the ceiling for a full breath. So you know where you're at in your body today. I don't. So you have to make your own wise choice. I am just giving you options. Let's come out of that, bringing the hands forward and down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. See if you can step right back to that very strong high plank. So without lifting the hips, but tucking the tailbone. Shift forward, lower to the belly. You can always use your knees there. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale, second round of low cobra or upward facing dog. Even in upward facing dog, we're active through our legs. So the kneecaps are lifting, thighs are engaged. You can start to make your way back to your child's pose or your downward facing dog. We will take 3 breaths. 3 breaths. Try to keep the air moving in and out through your nose. All right, so from your downward facing dog, lift your heel bones high, bend your knees a little bit. Make your way forward, top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, you're going to turn your toes out to the sides. So you have a wide stance with your feet, toes are turning out. Let's start to bend the knees, sink the hips. We're going to come into our first Malasana squat. So your first Malasana squat might look more like just a regular squat. It might be that your hips are in line with the knees or a little bit higher. We're going to hold this for a few seconds. If we're feeling like, I could take that a little bit deeper, couple of things you can try. Maybe a block or pillow comes underneath the sits bones. Maybe you take a rolled up blanket and place it underneath your heel bones. Maybe you just stay up a little bit higher in your Malasana squat. Okay, so whatever you're doing, try to relax your upper body. So nice and long through your neck, nice and long through your whole spine. Sometimes that means you have to back out of a shape. Sometimes that means you need to add support into a shape. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll come into a forward fold. So fingertips forward, press into your feet, lift the hips. Bring your feet to parallel with each other. Relax your head. And then inhale, halfway lift. Take your hands to your waist, stand all the way up, top of the mat. Bring your feet to about hip width distance apart. Start to bend your knees and sink your hips. We're coming into Utkatasana chair pose. We're going to add on to this with a little bit of standing balancing shapes and work a little bit more into the hips. So in Utkatasana, we're bending our knees. We're planted firmly on our feet. We're going to shift the body weight to that left foot, pick up the right knee and foot, place the ankle on top of the left thigh. Right knee's turning out to the side. And then we're just going to see if we can sit down here. Not all the way, just bend your knee a little bit more. So you're sitting into this standing balancing figure 4. So you're sticking your butt back behind you, body weight, see if you can shift it a little bit more to the inner edge of your left foot and your heel bone. And then options, you can take your hands together at the heart. You can start to bring your elbows forward, maybe hook them over that shin bone, or even bring your fingertips down to the mat or blocks if they're there. So you can fold over that left leg. Well, both legs really. But your right shin bone can be kind of like a little shelf. Or you can sit into this with the spine more upright, hands together at the heart. So in that case, you're going to be activating that left glute muscle a little bit more. And in your forward fold, you're going to be stretching it a little bit more. Wherever you are, one more breath. And let's see if we can come back. If you're in that forward fold, we're going to see if we can come all the way back up to standing on our left leg only. Right knee lifts. Okay, so standing on left leg only, right knee lifts. Now from here, we're going to shoot that right leg back to Virabhadrasana 3 airplane pose. So in airplane pose, our hips are squaring forward and down. Same thing with the shoulders. Right pinky toe dialing down. Now with the arms, you can stretch them forward, you can fly them back. They can remain at the heart center, balancing on your left leg. One more breath here, get nice and tall through your spine. And then we'll land in a warrior 2. So right foot back of your mat, left knee bends, and maybe straightens out a few times. Certainly asked a lot of that left leg, so give it a little break. And then see if you can settle into your warrior 2. Arms stretch out wide. Deep breath in. And then exhale, set a little bit lower. Side angle pose from here, so legs stay the same. Left forearm to the left thigh, right arm sweeps overhead. Really press into that back right foot to keep that deep bend in your left knee. One more breath here. We're going to reverse our arms, straighten out the left leg, reverse triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left arm reaches high, right arm reaches down, or here's an option. Right hand grabs that left wrist. Just like you did when you were standing at the top of the mat, you're pulling the arms to your back right leg. Big side body stretch on that left side. One more breath. And then exhale, we'll bring our hands down, frame out the left foot. Make your way back, high plank. Move through a vinyasa flow of your choice if you'd like it. Sometimes that just simply means taking the knees to the mat, a little bit cat-cow, or just coming down into child's pose for a few breaths. Big breath in. Nice long breath out wherever you're at. See if you can find a little bit of stillness. Down dog or child's pose. Let's take one more breath. Okay, so from downward facing dog, we'll lift our heel bones, bend the knees, tippy toe your way forward. Widen the feet, turn the toes out, bend the knees, take the hips. Malasana. Okay, so second round here, you can kind of pick up where you left off maybe. Feel free to add those props in. See if you can find that nice tall spine. Ease in the shoulders and the necks. So this time from our Malasana squat, from the position you're in, you're going to try to stand straight up to the top of your mat. So this means body weight needs to be squarely in the feet. We need to actively press down into the feet to engage the leg muscles as we stand, just like you would if you were doing a squat. Okay? So if you're all the way back on your sits bones like I am, you might need to shift the body weight forward to get that weight into the feet. Press down, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you stand tall. And then bring your feet to parallel. All right, chair pose. So second side chair pose. Feet are about hip width distance apart and parallel. We're going to bend the knees, body weight into the heel bone, shift the body weight to the right foot, pick up your left knee, place the ankle on top of that right thigh. And then you can explore here, okay? So what did you do on the first side? Maybe try to mirror it on the second side. Hands at the heart or folding forward. Elbows can connect to that left shin or fingertips can come down to the floor. Head can relax. And so just noticing what you're choosing and how that affects the body, where you're feeling sensation. Is it more of a stretch? Is it more of an active, fiery sensation? Is it a blend of both? Notice what you're choosing and the effect it has on your body. Take one more breath wherever you are. And now if you're deep into that fold over your left shin, start to come back up. We're going to press into that right foot standing. Lift your left knee up. So you're going to maintain all that body weight on that right foot and then extend your left leg back behind you. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Try to keep the chest and the hips squaring. Choose something intentional with your arms. Nice, long spine, engaged core muscles, engage that back left leg. Take one more breath. Soft landing, Warrior 2. Warrior 2. So you might bend and straighten that right knee. And as you bend and straighten that right knee, can you get a little bit deeper into the knee bend each time you bend? So that might mean the toes have to wiggle a little bit more forward. It might mean the foot has to come into the center of the mat a little bit more. And then settle into your Warrior 2 legs. Arms stretch out wide. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come into our side angle. Our right elbow is going to rest maybe on the thigh of that right leg or inside of it as your left arm stretches up. So try to maintain that nice foundation of Warrior 2 legs. Your left foot is equally active. So think about 50% in that left leg. It's not all about the right leg. Let's reverse out of this, straighten out that right leg, sweep that right arm up and back, or catch a hold of right wrist with left hand and reach back with both arms. Reverse your Trikonasana. Let's release out of that. We'll bring both hands forward, top of your mat. Frame out that foot. Step to your high plank. Mindful choices. Maybe you're moving through another chaturanga, up dog. Maybe it's knees down, cat-cow. And then if you'd like, another round of downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. We're going to start to shift gears and move towards more stillness, longer hold. So we'll set up our first longer hold and we'll come into a variation of pigeon or pigeon itself. So you can get there from tabletop or down dog. You're just going to bring your right knee forward. You've already done this. Remember the no fun version of pigeon pose. So before you sink into this and fold over your right leg, just notice how your right knee feels. If you're able to sustain this in a forward fold, maybe you're adding blocks underneath the belly and the chest or underneath the outer right hip. Okay, but if you're not able to sustain that body weight on your right knee, then bend your left knee, come into deer pose, which is basically just 2 90-degree angle shapes with your legs and folding over your right shin. And that also might require you to build a little shelf in front of you so that you can fold forward. So you can bring a literal shelf in front of you, like if you have a stool or a couch nearby. Could just bring your elbows forward onto that. And so we're going to be here for about 3 minutes. Set us a little timer. Try your best to become still and comfortable. And sometimes that means you do need to adjust your props or your body in some way to allow that stillness. Return to this focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Try to relax your shoulders down your back, nice and long through the back of your neck. And we'll just remain in silence for the remainder of this shape. I'll call you out when the time is right. Take one more breath where you are. If you're pretty deep into this fold, be mindful on your exits, hands underneath your shoulders, press up. You might take another breath in at the top, find a little bit of a back bound here. You can make your way out of this shape and explore a round of downward facing dog. Or if you'd like to, you could take tabletop and just simply extend your right leg back behind you. Just allow a little blood flow into that right knee, ankle, and hip. One more breath, whatever you're doing. And then let's pull the left knee forward towards that left wrist. You're angling your left foot across the mat. Now that left heel bone, it might kind of be like at an angle in towards that right hip crease, and that's okay. Rare is it that that left shin bone gets parallel to the top edge of your mat, but it's a lot more accessible if you bend your right knee to keep that left shin bone parallel to the top edge of your mat. So you'd be more in a deer pose, right? So remember you have those options. And if you're needing to add some props in again on this side, please do that. When you're ready, you can settle into your own version, your own depth of this shape. And again, we'll take about 3 minutes here. You have a little bit less than a minute in this shape. Is there anything you can do to make yourself just 5% even more comfortable? All right, one more breath where you are. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press your spine up towards a more straight position. Maybe take a moment here to find a little baby back bend. And then you can explore stepping back to another final downward facing dog, or even just tabletop with that left leg extended. And we'll make our way down onto our back body. We'll do one final twist and then our final Shavasana, and we will be done with our practice for the day. So when you come down to your back body and make your way into your twist, if rotation through the spine is a challenge for you, something underneath the back of the head can be nice and helpful to make it more easeful. So let's just hug the knees into the chest and then simply let the legs come off to the left side. Now, here's where you can support yourself with blocks in between the knees if there's a lot of space there. And or also you can place a prop underneath the outer edge of your left leg so your spine doesn't have to rotate so far. A nice way to make this twist a little bit more gentle and accessible. Maybe close down your eyes here, tune back into that breath. Take about 3 more rounds of breath before we switch sides. As you're ready, you're going to make your way off to your second side. So you might even bump your hips off to your left and then rotate the knees to your right so that your spine stays vertical on your mat. Again, feel free to add in those props to support your body. Three slow breaths here. Start to unwind, come back to center. We'll set up our final resting shape, Shavasana. Just depending on what you're working with at home, you can always build a little shelf underneath the backs of the knees. I'm not going to be here for too long. Just mindful of your time. Be a short Shavasana today, about 1 minute. You are more than welcome to stay longer if you have the time to spare. Shoulders relax down the back. Slightly tilt the chin in towards the chest. Maybe connect the hands to the body or stretch your arms out wide. Big breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go, let it rest. Shavasana. If you're ready to move on with your day, adding gentle movement into your fingertips and your toes, maybe moving the head side to side. Feel free to close your practice as you are on your back. If you'd like to, though, you can roll off to a side and make your way to an upright seat. We'll take 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. And as a reminder, if it's been a minute since you've done Brahmari breath, that's an inhale through your nose. Your exhale is a hum like you would Om, but it's just with your lips sealed. There's a vibration and a tone in the back of the throat. So let's begin by inhaling, and then you'll start with your exhale humming. So you're exhaling for as long as you can, even if you don't match my breath. 2 more times like that. Your breath to return to normal. Joining the hands together at the heart, bind the chin into the chest. Take a moment to honor your practice with reverence and gratitude to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis.